All right, good morning. So I'm gonna have to redo this video. I tried to do it yesterday, put it out for you guys, but I say a lot, so we're just gonna rework it. So today we're looking at the update. I know it's a little late. I should have got this out a little bit ago, but this is going to be my first video coming back to like YouTube and stuff. I've been doing a lot of live streaming on Twitch, which you can find at twitch.tv/RecklessJared06. So if you guys like the content, want to see it live, go ahead and go over there and give me a follow. Pretty much live streaming every day. But let's get into it. So patch version 1.3.2. So they're just going in and greetings, champions. You're reading this. It means two things. One, January is almost over. And two, version 1.3.2 is launching next week. It's actually already launched. Our last update introduced a host of changes, items, and mechanics, so it's only fair to follow up with the necessary balance and adjustments to ensure these features perform are intended. And don't forget, the new skins. Yeah, they gotta get that plug in there. The skins are nice, I'm not gonna lie. We're preparing for version 1.4, step by step, ensuring everything is in place and the exciting things ahead. But that's a story for another day. So they're supposed to be changing a lot in 1.4. Something like hero reworks and stuff. But we'll see. So this is Steel. The new Steel skin. Kind of looks like, when you're younger watching Power Rangers and they morphed all into one. That's what this reminds me of. It's a cool skin. Don't get me wrong. The Drongo skin... Drongo needs some love. The skin's not that great. It's kind of basic. Pretty much changes his like orange outfit to white and then gives him the orange accent. I don't think it's that cool. But then we get down to the Belka skin. This skin is really cool. I hate it when they just slut up just heroes for no reason without it like actually looking kind of cool. So this one looks definitely kind of cool. This is all the skin bundles. So they are introducing coaching, which I do agree that they needed. So many players just don't know how to run their lanes to be like efficient. They just want W key, team fight. I get it. It's fun. But with the coaching coming in, hopefully it puts the bitching and the complaining aside on Reddit, because that's on there a lot. And hopefully it kind of like changes how people play the game for the better. So you're not hard locking gold. Because I'm hard locked in gold. And let me tell you, people don't know lane management. They don't know when to gank. They don't know when to leave. Alright, and then as part of our ongoing efforts, welcome new players to Predecessor. Will shortly be testing several different elements of our new player onboarding journey. That's just like the training. They keep updating this. It's cool. If you ever played a MOBA, you're never going to see it or deal with it. So they're moving on. We're going to be looking at the gameplay changes. This is the tower fortification. So outer tower pre 8-minute bonus armor decreases from 80 to 40, so it takes less time to take a plate. Plated segment gold drops is increased from 110 to 120, which is cool. Then we got the hero rework balances. Crunch is always going to be broken. He's still kind of broken. This doesn't affect him that much. I'm going to be honest with you. With items like Mutilator and even the Rapture, Sky Splitter. It doesn't change much here. He's just a little easier to kill. But the healing change by 5. Healing bonus physical power scaling decrease by 5. Healing magical power scaling decrease by 2. So it looks like a big change. It's really not once you get in the game. Stronger rework. See additional damage decrease. His rad round basics. Um, Early game, chunk the fuck out of you. It's more in line of how it should be. I feel like he's a little weak right now, early game, versus like other heroes like Kira. Additional hit physical power scaling decreased by 2%. Like I said, just early game, he's kind of weak. Late game, he still hits hard. Hits like a truck, just like Murdoch, Kira, Sparrow. Then we got Grux. He's getting nerfed here. Rapture was too good on him. So their damage decrease from 6 to 57 plus 3 per level to 6 to 48.5 plus 2.5 per level. So that's his passive. That's his healing passive. Double Pain's also getting a slight nerf here by 5%. Kalari, the bug fix, she would jump, and then if you jumped again, it would go in the same direction. Now you could jump in a different direction to get out. It's a lot better for Kalari. Quang, getting a little nerf here. Light of the Heavens is getting increased, which is cool. Slow increase. This is not even a nerf, dude. This is a buff. By 20 by the end at your max levels, and by 5% slow increase. Morn getting a nerf. This is needed. His Beguile was super broken, so you mark him with your bugs, and then you would just do your mez, and it would stack the entire CC on him for 1.25 instead of having to charge it. So now that they fixed that. But they cooldown is increased by 1 on his passive. His healing passive is still kind of broken. I think Morn's super strong right now. I think they're going to have to nerf him again. But now correctly mesmerize is at 0.5 seconds to 1.25 based on channel duration, not a 1.25 flat. So that's what I was talking about. You mark them, and then if you just popped your mez, it was the flat 1.25, which is insane. Self-slow is decreased by 5%. QL delay before reactive decreased by 0.25 to 0.2. So that's like if he got interrupted. Cooldown increased by a second, it looks like. Reduced vision radius increased by 200. Because, you couldn't see shit when he popped that. Icky Scorch. Damage decreased on this flame turrets, thank God. Because that was kind of busted. You go and get a gank in, and you'd come out a quarter health. And you'd be there for 1 second, hit him once, and back the fuck up. Cooldown increased, which this is definitely needed. He has turrets all the time. Belka movement speed increased. I didn't think this was a big issue, but I guess they did. So they increased their movement speed by 5. Murdoch, shots fired passive cooldown increase. This passive is still one of the best passives in the game, especially on a carry. If you procced your crest pacifier when you have this passive up and hit someone, you pretty much took a quarter of the health. Static trap, bonus physical power scaling decrease. They didn't do any damage anyway, so I don't know why that was a big deal. Buckshot, total physical power scaling decrease. His shotgun is still pretty fucking strong, especially that it goes through walls, if you didn't know that. Then we're moving on to Richter. Physical armor growth is increased. Attack speed growth is increased. Cooldowns changed from right shield. So they decreased his passive, so you get it quicker in the later stages instead of a flat 10, which is nice. Electrocute, damage increased by like 20 at the end. That's not too bad. Bonus health scaling increased by 1%. Magic power scaling increased by 10. Might be seeing some more AP Richters out there. Shimmy gets a buff. I don't think she needed a buff, to be honest. She's strong. She's always going to be strong. But her rushing beat switches her dash, power scaling increase by 5%. All kill ultimate damage per stack increased by 5. And magical power scaling per stack increased by 2. So her ultimate's still going to hit hard, but it's just going to hit a little bit harder. We're getting a nerf here with Kira. Not Kira, but Skylar. Our plasma grenade explosion physical power scaling is decreased by 15. Explosion magical power scaling decreased by 5. And explosion radius decreased by 10%. Her hypercharge. That's the beam that kills everybody. On hit modifier decreased by 2%. It's not that much of a nerf, but it's going to help. Her atomizer, I swear, this has the biggest radius when it comes to ultimates. But it's decreased the radius by 11%. Terra, she gets a slight buff here. Her Relentless Assault does hit harder now. I played her last night. It felt really good. I played her against another Terra. So, I mean, we were both just smacking each other hard. But it's increased by 10. Empowered third hit damage for a physical power scaling increased by 5%. Her Highland Hurl, which is when she throws the axe, the cooldown is decreased, but they're increasing the mana cost, so it's really not that big of a change. You're not going to want to throw this as much unless they're like way out of range, or for Skylar, if she goes up in the air, if you hit her with the Highland Hurl, it immediately drops her. Her shield gets a buff. This is kind of big. It's by 40 at the end of it. So, I mean, we know all about the shields. Richter gets a shield. Quang gets a shield. She gets a shield. Shimmy gets a shield. We hate the fucking shields. But it is what it is. And she's just going to be that much harder to kill now. The Fae, she's getting a slight nerf here. Her physical power decreased by 3. Bramble decrease. Untamed growth damage decrease. Fly trap cooldown increase. Because I mean, this is the broken one. Especially if you build like ultimate cooldown. I think it's called like Catalyst or whatever. Your ultimate's up 24/7. I swear. Yin is getting a physical armor increase, her health regen increase, her BAT increase. And then last kick, that's her runaway or her root. Cooldown's going to increase, thank you, because I feel like this is never on cooldown. Windburn, max health damage decrease. Monster damage cap decrease, healing total physical power scaling decrease. Windburn is like the thing that gives her the extra range, and when she has that pop, I swear she never dies. Backlash is going to be bonus physical power scaling decrease, so she's getting a slight nerf. It's not that big of a deal on her. Zarya's mana growth is increased by 5. And Spear of Near, damage is increased, physical power scaling increased by 10 right there. Mana cost increased by 5. This mana cost is like, it doesn't matter. I don't even know what's on there. Okay, then we get down to the items. So Pacifier, Adrenaline bonus physical power scaling decreased by 5%. This is what I was talking about. You pop Pacifier with Murdoch's passive, and it hits real hard. So that's getting a slight nerf. Divine Potion, it's going to be cheaper. They also fix it so instead of only getting 140 health, you get in the full 150. The mana regen decrease just slightly. Lucky Feather, sell value is going up by 100. Gold on kills getting nerfed by 1. Gold on camp leader killed is getting nerfed by 2. Okay, we're getting down to the carry items. Ashbringer, physical power increase by 30 to 35. So, I mean, I don't see a lot of Ashbringers out there anyways. So, maybe we'll see this a little bit more. Viper, one of the new items, it's getting nerfed by 5% for its attack speed decrease. Solaris is getting a slight buff here. It's going to be cheaper. The mana increased from 250 to 300. And the Solar Blade bonus physical power scaling increased by 5%. I've seen a couple people build Solaris. It's not an item that I like, but I'm going to try it out now that they've buffed it and see if it feels any better. Psychonic Echo cost decrease by 100. It just means Kalar is going to come online 100 gold cheaper. That's about it. Getting down to the fighters. Augmentation. This is where the nerfs are coming in. The health is all getting decreased on all of these items. So the health decreased from 300 to 275. Basilisk. Health is decreased by 350 to 300. Earthshaker. Physical power increased by 5. Attack speed decreased by 5. And then health decreased by 50. So, I mean, it's kind of like a rework. They're trying to balance this out a little bit better. Gaia Greaves, health decreased by 50. Physical armor increased by 5. Kind of like balance it out. Overlord. This item is broken on a lot of junglers right now. But they're decreasing the health by 25, which is not that big of a deal. But with the other nerfs, it's quite a bit, especially when an Overlord's damage is based on health. Rapture getting a nerf. This is the new item that's been broken on Grux. The health is getting decreased by 50. The ability haste decreased by 5. Omnivamp decreased by 1. Nearsight damage decreased by 2. And nearsight bonus health scaling decreased by 0.5. When you got to nerf that many things on it, you know it was kind of like overtuned. Tainted Blade, health decreased by 50. Tyranny, health decreased by 25. And this is all the stuff that mostly people are building on their bruisers. That's just been kind of broken, especially with the Overlord, Rapture. So that's good to see. Kind of balance out the bruisers and the jungle. Mechacosm, we're getting the mage items. Disintegrate max health damage decreased by 0.5. It's not going to be that big of a deal, Mechacosm. Mechacosm's always going to be good. Noxia's dark mana cooldown decreased by 2 seconds, so Noxia is just getting a slight buff there. Time Warp, it's getting cheaper by 50 gold. I didn't think that was going to be I don't know why that's in here. It's 50 gold. You get 50 gold just waiting to back to your towers, you know what I mean? Quantum Core, cost getting decreased. I don't think anybody's building this. I haven't seen anyone building Quantum Core. I just think Flash is better. Yeah, it's on a longer cooldown, but I mean, when someone's hitting you, you want to flash. Like, you can't do that with Quantum Core. I guess this would be good for engaging. Maybe on a Grux, because Grux engage sucks. The health increased by 50 on it, and mana increased by 50 as well. Here's the new tank item, Catalytic Drive. And this is like what everyone's building on their actual tanks. Usually the first item or second. Just because Cybernetic Drive, to get it de-evolved, takes so fucking long. So base health regen decreased by 20%. Deconstruction damage decreased by 40. Deconstruction damage bonus health scaling decreased by 1. Deconstruction max health scaling decreased by 1. And deconstruction bonus gold decreased by 2. It's a lot of stuff. And then the upgraded version, Cybernetic Drive. Base health regen decreased by 20. Ability haste decreased by 5. Lesser deconstruction damage decreased by 20. Lesser deconstruction damage bonus health scaling decreased by 1, and lesser deconstruction max health scaling decreased by 6, or by 1. Sorry. And then they just got a couple bug fixes here. I don't think anything's really that bad with the bugs. We've had a couple of games now where it just kicks everybody out and like kind of deletes the game that they were in, so you can't get back into it. So if you're like smashing the other team and that happens, it just feels really terrible. But I've only had it happen twice out of, I don't know, like 40 games, so it's not too bad. But yeah, this is the patch notes. And if you ever want to find them, they're in the Discord for the predecessor. They're also on their site. But yeah, that's about it. So if you like the content, please subscribe. Find me on Twitch. I'm live every day. And all you guys, stay beautiful.